know, what I do a lot at Christmas time is Christmas brings back lots of memories. And I look back on the things that were hard, things that we struggled through, that brought us through where we are today, because without those hardships and all, a lot of us would not be where we are today.
There is the town hall, and a lot of cars out tonight. We'll walk around and talk a little bit about Christmas memories, things that I remember when I was a kid. Has been definitely a very, very long time ago, and I don't know if I've told these stories on my channel before, but if I have, I'll repeat them. I came up in a very poor family. When I was very small, my mom didn't work. My dad did. He did front end work at a garage. One of my memories from way far back is I remember at Christmas morning that we woke up and there was something that needed batteries, and my dad and myself went into town to see if we could find any batteries on Christmas Day, and that may have been just a ruse to get me away from home. But when I got back, my mother had a toy train that was battery operated, and she said, "Look what I found under the tree." And I remember thinking to myself, how did that train wind up under that tree? I know I checked very good, but I just thought that was pretty cool. It's funny how things stick in your memory, and that being one of them. But you know, it was all we had, and it was really great that I can remember that. I remember also, I said we didn't have much money, but I remembered that we would go to this place in town, and I believe it was the Firestone store. There's the wine factory. That has pretty good food, by the way. Let's walk across the street. There's a Caffeinated Cow. It is closed, and a store that sells different stuff. It's real neat how the front of that store is decorated for Christmas with the trees and all. Anyway, back to our story. I remember there was a place downtown Bennettsville. I believe it was the Firestone store. They sold tires and things like that, but they also had toys. And I remember going there with my parents, and I would sit in the car with my mom while my dad went inside. And the story that I remember, and I couldn't have been but about 6, maybe 7 years old, the story that I remember is my mother telling me that my daddy was inside talking to Santa. And you know, I would find out later, after I was grown, that actually he was in there arranging a loan to get toys for my sister and myself. You know, the things that we tell our kids, those things, it goes to Cheraw's finest fire truck. Things that we tell our kids about Santa and how things work, you know, we learn while we're growing up ourselves. I remember when my kids were real small. Of course, Debbie and I, we didn't have much money either. We had to do what we could to get things together for Christmas from Santa. A lot of times, Debbie and I made things that we would give to kids for Christmas, things out of wood. I remember a desk that Santa took my son when he was small. I remember some little toys that we made from wood that Santa would deliver. Best I can remember. There's a story I'll save a little later in this video that I'll share with you that I thought's really special. This is our downtown. There's a Spring Hill Suites hotel that's fairly new here in town. Here's a story that I'll tell you from my past, and I guess this would have probably been in the last 30 years. I remember my wife Debbie wanting a new Bible for Christmas, and I really didn't pay attention other than the fact that I knew she wanted a particular Bible for Christmas. You know what I'm talking about, hand leather bound, that she could take with her to church. Well, for some stupid reason, I decided I'd be cute and funny. Well, I had a Bible, and the box that it came in, I took and put nails in it and put some other things that would be heavy, and put a note in it, and it was going to be something that I was going to give Debbie, and she was going to have to search for it, kind of like a scavenger hunt in order to find her real gift. So on Christmas Eve, when we would open presents at our house, we started opening gifts. The children opened their presents, and Debbie's turn was next, and she tore away the wrapping, and she saw the Bible box, and her eyes brightened, and she was just all squealy and happy that, oh boy, I got the Bible that I really wanted. And she opened it up, and there was just like maybe a brick in it and a note, and the look on her face, the excitement was wiped away, and she burst into tears. I have to tell you, I felt lower than anybody could ever imagine. Look at this scene in this window. Isn't that cool? Here in our little town. How about that? Well, you can't imagine how I felt. And I will tell you, that's the one lesson that I learned. By George, if I give you a present, the box that it is in, the box that you see, that's what's in the box. Or I'll put a note on the outside and say, warning, this box does not contain what's displayed on the outside. Well, it was Christmas Eve. What was I to do? I called her dad, he was alive at the time, and told him how much I had really screwed up. And I arranged for him to go to the local Christian bookstore and purchase a Bible. And that didn't make things better, but maybe a little better, but I have to say, was a very, very valuable lesson learned. Back to the story that I was going to share with you about my son. I guess my son Jared was probably 6 or 7 years old, and he really wanted a TV set, a color TV set for Christmas. And I was working for pennies, basically. Actually doing the same thing I'm doing now, except I didn't own my own business. Was working for someone else, barely able to scrape by. And we saw in the newspaper a man was selling used TVs. Well, we got in contact with him, and he had apparently some TVs that he had taken out of a motel, and they were small portable TVs, but they were color and good size. Well, I bought the TV and took it home, and a couple days before Christmas I plugged it in and it would not work. And I remember what I paid for it, 50 bucks. Well, I took it back to the man that I bought it from, and he was very ugly about it. And I explained to him the situation, that, man, I don't have much money, and this is all I have. and I promised my son a TV that would work, you know, that Santa was going to bring. And what was I going to tell my son? He was very ugly about it, but he did give me my money back. Actually, he shoved it in my face and told me, get out of here. That Christmas morning, Santa did not leave a TV for my son. He left a note. As I was saying, that Christmas morning, my son did not get the color TV under the tree. But he did get a note from Santa, and I still have that note somewhere. I would have to look hard to find it. Never threw things like that away. The note said something to the tune of, in Santa's haste, he left the North Pole and left his TV. And then on his way back through, he would drop the TV off. And here is that very TV. The TV that Santa brought to my son a week after Christmas. I still have it to this day, over 35 years ago, and no, it doesn't work anymore, but there's a lot of memories there, and I kept it. Here's one more memory that I think I will throw into the mix right here. This Magic Chef microwave, probably from the late 80s, early 90s. Back when microwaves were the hot ticket item to have. And of course, we did not have any money. And you know what a microwave costs now? You can get one for less than $100 that does all kind of things. This, it done good to heat up water and warm a biscuit. I went to a place here in town. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was called Heilig Myers. You can buy stuff on time. When all was said and done, I wound up paying about $1,100 for that microwave. A lot of times when I'm sitting in my office, I can look up on the shelf there and be reminded of the memory of where I used to be and where I am now. And you know, it's fun to look back and think about times have gone by, the people that we've met, the struggles that we went through, the good times, the bad times, everything that has brought us to where we are today. So many memories, so many happy memories. I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. If you hadn't yet subscribed, please do so. We always put videos out every Monday and every Friday at 6:30 a.m. and sometimes in between, without fail for the last 6 years. Thank you for watching. But until next time, y'all have a good day, and also, hey, a very Merry Christmas.